Hello, good morning YouTube, or good afternoon, or good what time of day it is for you. This is Hero-supe here, HERO-SUPE. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at TryHardNation slash, I believe it's just TryHardNation. Or you guys can just follow the links that I have that are on my channel. Don't forget to don't forget to subscribe as well. But what I'm going to be going over today is a review of the last arc in Boruto. I'm going to try to keep this video brief. I'm going to try and condense it, if you will. In short, there were a lot of pretty good things that I saw in the arc. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't the best arc I've ever seen, but it wasn't the worst. And I'm saying that because Boruto gets a lot of slack, right? So I haven't watched anime in a long time. Of course, I'm gonna try to give these reviews as much as possible because I'm gonna pick back up on my anime as I watch the anime. I give the review. So, in this last arc, Mitsuki ran away. We all knew Mitsuki had something coming. You know, we all knew Mitsuki was gonna give us something, you know, especially him being Orochimaru's son-in-law. So Mitsuki runs away, you know, he meets up with these people. I don't even remember their names, but I'm gonna definitely be able to talk about them as far as the way they look. I remember the way they looked. And getting to the point, Mitsuki runs away, he goes with these people, they're going to the land of Earth. Mitsuki's trying to find his will because these people are like Mitsuki, because Mitsuki is a synthetic human, he's a creation, right? And so are these people, but these people are a lot more imperfect than what Mitsuki is, or rather they would say Mitsuki is perfect. And again, and you know how it goes, Boruto and Sarada, they're waiting for Mitsuki. Mitsuki doesn't show up, then they go to his room, they're like, why does this room look like this? And one thing leads to another, and it leads Boruto to realize that he really doesn't know Mitsuki at all, and now he's trying to go find his friend. And like I said, the arc really begins to show us more of Boruto, which is what we need in Boruto, because Boruto, unfortunately, Boruto shows a lot of Naruto, you know, and in Boruto, it should be about Boruto. It should be Boruto's story. And for those of you who follow Boruto, you do get that feel that a lot more Boruto is about Boruto. We're getting Naruto here and there. You know, Naruto shows up for fights, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely a Boruto show. And a lot of that was displayed again in this last arc because, you know, like his dad, but yet it's Boruto, he doesn't give up on his friends. So, you know how it goes. You get Boruto, Sarada's on board, they leave the village. Now they're like, oh, you know, they're not exactly rogue ninja. Well, I guess by definition, they are rogue ninja because they left the village. They leave the village, they go talk to the snake lady, trying to figure out what Mitsuki's snake is talking about. Like, you know, can you go over like what may or may not be left as far as the message in the snake? Then he ends up meeting with Garaga, you know, which is like some big old wild red snake. The thing I like about that is that while they were dealing with the Garaga snake, Sasuke's snake shows up, and it's all like, oh, hey, how are you doing, Lady Sarada? Because the snake notices Sasuke's daughter, which I have a hard time imagining Sasuke having a conversation with this snake about his daughter. You know what I mean? Because Sasuke doesn't talk about anything. But we gonna get into that little part too about Sasuke. And then and you know, like then the snake begins to help him. The snake is loving him some Sarada action, and then Garaga's like, all right, you know, we doing all this fighting, man, but I guarantee you that, you know, because y'all humans are so crazy and y'all the way y'all are, I bet you your boy don't want to come back anyway. I bet your boy is just like messed all up, man. He ain't worrying about you, blah blah blah. Or hey, why make you a deal? You know, if he don't come back with me, or if either way you say is, you get to eat me. Garaga's like, all right, cool, fam. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hold it down. So then he enters a summoning contract with the snake. That way they can see their deal through. They leave from there. They get to heading towards the land of Earth. And you know, then they show Mitsuki talking to the people that he's with, and these guys are like, I kind of like their attitudes more than anything, right? Like the way they look is okay. They're not the best looking characters, but they look okay. But I do like I like their attitudes. Like they all seem to have different outlooks, and that's pretty cool. Because you got the leader of these guys, not Cool, not talking about Cool, which is like the main leader besides Onoki. Onoki is like the guy who running everything, and you have Cool, which is like Onoki's clone, his closest clone. And then you have the other four, and again, I don't remember their names, but you know, just bear with me here. You have the guy with the long hair, who's like the leader of the four. You have the guy with the hair that stands straight up in the air. Then you have the chick with the which is the only girl. You might say she's the only girl that's with them. And then you have the guy who has the abilities that Datara has, but on like a much weaker scale. So then you see Mitsuki kind of talking with them, and the other guy's like, look, I'm drawing stuff. Mitsuki's like, oh yeah, that's okay, it's a house and whatever. Having these weird interactions. And then the other guy with the long hair coming down, not the guy with the hair standing straight up, the guy with the long hair coming down, he's all like, we don't trust him, man. We told him our business and blah blah blah. So they get to running out, and and then that guy's brutal with the long hair. That guy's so brutal, man. He freaking like they had these things called a kuta, like they are like these I don't know, these, it's a forbidden jutsu to kind of create these like beings, if you will. They're not exactly zetsus, but I'll put images up so you guys can see what the kuta are. And they have these things with them, and apparently, like I said, they're imperfect. So like once they start to die off, this guy just kills them instantly. Like damn, like he don't give no F's, like for real. So then they're running, they're trying to get to the land of Earth. Then you get what happens? They get to picking up that Leaf Jonin are following them. So then the guy who's like Datara, him and Mitsuki, they keep on pressing forward, while the other guy with the long hair, him and the Akuta, they stay back, and they get to smacking all the Leaf Jonin. And I got a friend of mine who would love to have this conversation about how weak the Leaf Jonin are now as opposed to how they were. And he smacks all these Jonin. Him and the Akuta, they just smack all the Jonin. It's like really bad. They beat the crap out of all these guys. They got them like half in the ground, like half hanging out the ground. It just looks really bad. And then moving on, that's when Boruto, Shikada, and who was it? It's Boruto, Shikada, and Sarada. They end up kind of getting their trail, kind of catching up with them. And before all this happened, basically Boruto and Sarada were running off, and then Team Mogi, which is Shikacho, they all tried to stop Sarada and Boruto, but Boruto and Sarada kind of talk no jutsu after a little brief scuffle, talk no jutsu them into coming. Then they trick another Leaf Jonin, and then they end up getting away from her. So and then somewhere along the line, Shikada tells Inojin and Chocho that they should go back, but then they go and see some stuff that kind of lets them know they probably should chase after them. So again, moving forward, as Shikada, Shikada, Boruto, and Sarada, as they approach where the guy with the long hair is, where him and the Akuta are, where they just slaughtered all these Leaf Jonin, they get to fighting with this dude, and this dude's putting the paws on him, man. This dude is giving them the business. Like they're doing their hidden leaf thing, that they're kind of putting up a good fight, but it really wasn't close at that time. He was kind of beating them, but they did scrape the Akuta though. They put the Akuta down. Shout out to Sarada. And then that's when let me think. Let me get this correctly. Okay, so then Chocho and Inojin, they show up, and then they interrupt the fight, and they're like, okay, we're here now because of something that we saw. We thought things were bad. And that's when Shikada's like, okay, Sarada and Boruto, you guys chase after the other guys, which is Mitsuki and the guy that's like Datara, and then we'll hold off this guy. So then when they run and chasing after the Datara guy and Mitsuki, Shikato gets scraped. Like they can't fight with this dude. They just get the crap beat out of them, and then they have to run. Like they literally run. My man Inojin summons a bird, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta get out of here. This dude's a bit much." So that's when Boruto and Sarada are fighting against the Datara guy, and when they're fighting against this dude, he's okay. He's definitely not a Datara, but the clay thing is the clay thing, man. You're making clay creatures that blow up, so you got to deal with that. Boruto's like, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna summon Garaga. Garaga gets summoned. He's like, man, I ain't fighting. He's like, what I'm saying? I'm not about to help you out, dog. Like, this ain't that kind of party. Then Boruto's all like, oh crap, what are you supposed to do? And then I can't really. Actually, I do know Garaga doesn't help. He just kind of just stands around. And then and see, I just watched so much of it yesterday, so I can't really remember what happened at the moment, what happened to the Datara guy. But I think he actually started to get weaker because, remember, they're imperfect, so they kind of start to break down after a while because they can't really sustain their bodies because they're not real human. So as his body starts to break down, Mitsuki appears, right? And they're like, "Oh, what's up, Mitsuki, man? Like, yeah, man, we're about to go back." Then Mitsuki ends up helping the data guy. He's like helping him up. Like, "Oh, you okay?" I think his name's Seki. He starts to help him up. And then still and then no, okay, yeah, he helps him up. And then Boruto's like, "What's going on, dude?" So my man Mitsuki walks over to Boruto, like Boruto's all standing there with his hand out. He got the headband in his hand, like, come on, Mitsuki, take your headband. Mitsuki smacks the headband, then all you hear is light tone. My man smacked this dude with the lightning style, the snake lightning, put Boruto ass in like a little boulder, and Boruto over there hurt. Like, I think Boruto was unconscious for like a day and a half or something. Then the other guy with the long hair, he shows up like, "Oh, you know, you know, just, oh, okay, you did what you had to do, but we still gotta get out of here." So, long story short, the two guys, the data guy and the guy with the long hair, they take Mitsuki and they head towards the land of the earth. Still not really trusting Mitsuki. Boruto's out for a few days. And then we're going to go ahead and move along because, a few little things happen. I think they ran to a few more Okudas. Inojin and the gang, they catch back up with Boruto and Sarada. And Inojin befriends a small Okuda, which is, I guess cute, if you will. And, then let's just skip. I guess I should go ahead and drop the bomb. And the bomb behind the entire, behind these imperfect humans is Onoki. Onoki had a grandson. His grandson dies, and when Onoki's grandson dies, you know how it is in Naruto. They all got these misplaced sense of self-righteousness and these wills, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna fulfill his will. So Onoki's whole thing was basically keeping the younger generation of ninjas from having to actually step foot on the battlefield because he thought they were too weak. So he was going through this whole plan of making basically people without wills, which are the imperfect humans, and the Okudas, making them without wills to step in place of the younger ninjas and fight in wars and stuff like that. And he was going to pretty much do that by any means necessary. He wasn't trying to kill anybody, but he didn't want nobody to get in the way to stop the plan. So that pretty much was what was going on with Onoki, because once they did get to the land of Earth, they were looking for Onoki. Then when they found Onoki, he was, all open arms, like, "Hey, what's up, everybody?" Then, he was like, "Oh, nah, I can't help y'all with that." Like, when they was like, "Man, what's going on?" Like, they start kind of questioning him about the synthetic humans or the imperfect humans, and he's like, "Nah, I can't help y'all with that." Next thing you know, the leader of the imperfect humans shows up. Lord Cool comes down. You got Coolest popping up, and then they turn around. Onoki hit them with the death stare, like, y'all can't be here now. Like, it's about to go down. So Cool, Lord Cool, under Onoki's orders, he gets to, going at Boruto a little bit. He tells him not to harm Boruto, but he gets to fighting Boruto, and everyone gets to wild and panicking. Like, they got like a little fight going on. So everyone scatters. Shikata gets captured. What else happened? Shikata gets captured. Boruto takes Onoki because Onoki was getting ready to get crushed by a pillar. And again, my boy would love to have this conversation because he's always talking about how much weaker these people are in this day and age than what they were, because the Hokage or rather I should say the Titsukage of the village hidden in the earth is at this time captured. She gets captured by like Cool, right? So now she's in a cage with seals on it. Then Shikata's in the cage with seals on it. Shikata tells her everything that's going on with Onoki. She informs him that she kind of knows about it in a way. Then moving forward, then we see Mitsuki with those other guys, and you're finding out that the reason why they want Mitsuki is to use the technology that created him to create basically another form of what he is and make them, for lack of a better term, perfect, right? Make them better and sustainable. And then Mitsuki is there for his own reason. Mitsuki is trying to find out the secret behind his own will, whether or not does he feel this way because it's him, or is it because of the way he was made. And then, the hidden leaf is trying to get involved, and Naruto was like calling over there, and Naruto's like, "All right, Konohamaru, you go and you handle this the best you can, but you can't be operating under a leaf ninja. You got to be like, I thought that was one of the coolest parts when Konohamaru put the Anbu gear on. And shout out to my man Konohamaru for rocking the Anbu gear, because he trying to put a little bit of respect on the Anbu name. He like a substitute Anbu member. And then, everything pretty much concluded with Mitsuki figuring out that, I mean, he said he was there to just spy on them, but he really was there for his own selfish reasons because he was trying to find himself and find his will. But throughout the course of that, you see that he kind of does come to terms with like, okay, your will is pretty much, just you in essence. You know what I mean? Your will is based off of your experiences in your life and the things that you choose because you are your own person. And that's why Boruto was trying to tell Onoki that your imperfect humans, they actually have wills, they have personalities. Like, for crying out loud, like, you see the way these guys are, like they not regular people. Like they're not people who don't have wills. They actually have wills. And yeah, so now Mitsuki's like, okay, he found himself, if you will, or he found himself. So that's when pretty much all hell break loose. There are a bunch of fights going on. You got Onoki is about to go back to his synthetic humans, and as he's about to go back, or rather, when him and Boruto are at odds, the guy with the long straight hair, he's like one of the most savage ones. He shows up, he gets to fight in Boruto, and there was a good fight because first it was just him and Boruto, but then Chocho and Sarada showed up, which made it an even better fight. But this dude was about to drop one of the biggest particle styles in the world on Boruto, and it was going to kill him. No one, y'all can't say nothing. If y'all saw it, then y'all see why it didn't kill him, because his body shut down and he ended up dying because he was expelling too much energy. And he almost killed Boruto. That's probably like one of 3 times Boruto really almost got killed in his show, and that thing was going to annihilate Boruto. So then he ends up dying because he uses the guy with the long straight hair. He ends up dying because he uses too much of the chakra. Then the girl comes over there. She has like a genjutsu ability, and she was able to put Enojin in the genjutsu, and then that kind of caught Boruto, which kind of made everyone else surrender, which is Chocho and Sarada. Then they all end up going back to the imperfect human forces, and then like Onoki's like, what are you doing? Because Lord Cool pretty much took over the whole. Remember I said Tsurage got captured, so he took over the entire village hidden in the earth. And he was like, why are you doing this? Why are the Akudas walking around? It's only in case of emergency. Like, you shouldn't be doing all this. And then Lord Cool's like, dog, man, you done lost your way, fam. You talk something crazy. Bow! Straight sleep my man on Logan. Straight put him down, right? So then now it's like, oh yeah, these dudes are bugging. Like, now these imperfect humans are just doing their own thing. And like I said, now you got Mitsuki showing up. He's about to give a heart, because what they need to sustain their lives is hearts. It seemed like they needed the heart to sustain themselves, and he shows up to give Lord Cool a heart, but then it was a fake heart. Then he freaking hit my man with like a little light Chidori through the chest. Cool's all messed up. Then Cool leaves to go to the facility to go get some help, because he finds out that Mitsuki ain't really with them. Then Mitsuki has to fight the Datara guy, and Boruto and Sarada run and chase Cool. They have to fight the little chick, and they pretty much beat her. Sarada showing that she still remember her jutsu, because she hit the girl with the lightning attack, the little lightning bolt that she got from the Seven Swordsman people, or the chick from the Seven Swordsman. She hit her with that, which was pretty cool. Even a little bit of genjutsu on display. Shout out to Sarada, is really looking cool. Then Boruto and the snake actually came through and helped out, because the girl summoned like an Akuda that was like formed from a whole bunch of them. This thing was massive. Then Boruto been doing some stuff, bro, as a kid, bro. He already doing summoning battles, and Garaga the snake was pretty much scraping the Akuda giant, and they end up beating the girl. Of course, Mitsuki smacks Seke. Like, that wasn't even a contest. Like, Mitsuki been smacking since day one. Then he ended up catching back up to the other guy, Lord Cool. Because by this time, Onoki's on their side now. Because Onoki realizes that the people he created, they actually have their own wills, which isn't a good thing. He kind of needs them to follow what he says. But since they weren't following what he said, now he's on the side of the good guys. So Onoki wakes up. He's also wanting to head towards where Lord Cool is, and you got Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki. They get to the Lord Cool guy, who has a heart now, because he took the heart from the scientists who helped create them, and he's like going off, bro. This fight was pretty darn good. I'm not gonna lie. Mitsuki showing more of that sage stuff. Mitsuki's all like stretch arm grabbing, slamming this dude, and he's like, really going at him. And of course, we all know how it turns out. They do like a nice combination attack. Boruto hits him with the Rasengan, but that didn't work. My man got up, about to smack them with the particle style. Onoki comes and he does his particle style, but an even bigger one, and then he freaking kills the bad guy, right? End of the arc. Pretty good arc. I have no complaints for the most part. You know, of course, these things tend to drag out, but that's what happens when you have shonen mixed with good action, which I do appreciate. And then after the arc, you know, of course, how it ended, Onoki died, unfortunately. Rest in peace to Onoki. The Kages over his grave, you know, going over their thoughts and stuff like that. And then so in the last few episodes of Boruto were about Naruto making child and parent day. The only thing I want to say about that is back to Sasuke. Like the child and parent thing, the child and parent thing was okay, right? It just makes you feel good about yourself, especially for those of us who have kids. But the funniest thing was Sasuke trying to interact with. I like how Sasuke was interacting with Kakashi. That was really, really funny. Because Sasuke is all like, man, I should throw you off a bridge, man. You give me bad advice. And also how Sasuke interacted with Sarada, because Sasuke, like we all know, Sasuke has horrible people skills. If you don't know that, then you need to get up on your Naruto. Sasuke has horrible people skills, and he really couldn't understand Sarada again. But you know, at the end of the episode, they all came around. You know, Sasuke was trying to get her to climb on his back. She's like, "No, I'm not climbing on your back. What the heck is wrong with you?" But again, like I said, it all came full circle. So I'm waiting to see what's up next for Boruto. On my agenda, like I said, I don't want to give a specific anime right now. I think I'll just leave it as a surprise when it happens, you know, when I watch it. So like I said, guys, stay tuned. There will be more reviews and more anime reviews and more gameplay as well coming up in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Boruto Last Arc review. Stay tuned for more anime reviews. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch because I stream pretty much every day, Instagram and all those other things. And people, y'all have yourself a good night. And don't forget to watch some anime.